I'm beginning over here from the wild. Okay, I said too many people. I thought it's going to be around 100 people. Now when I see 300 in front of me, I'm a bit nervous, so bear with me. Let me begin with a small introduction about myself. My name is Nisha, as you know. As announced, there is a correction. I'm not a National Geography photographer. I'm a wildlife photographer. I'm a wildlife lover and a naturalist, you can say. Now, if I'm going to start my story from my home or from my childhood. Okay, my place is called Paravur. It's in Kollam district. And I'm not sure how many of you know. Have anybody been to Paravur before? Okay. It's a very small coastal village. And my dad is an ex-Air Force, then he was in Central Bank of India. So we used to travel with him across India. I think that is where my base is. We used to travel, and that used to inspire me in a bigger way. To see different places and to see different culture, different people. And my house, my house is surrounded by trees, and you go anywhere nearby, it's like full of nature, snakes, butterflies, birds, anything you name it. So coming from such a background, it's quite natural you tend to become a nature lover. There is no other second go for it. And now, I have done my graduation in Fine Arts College, specialized in applied arts. But then I ended up in a different career because of, you heard a lot about this male domination in the industry, so I was another victim for it. So I ended up in different careers, and I took a job in Royal Caribbean Cruise Line for a while because I loved traveling. But then once again, that was not the kind of photography I wanted to do. So I quit that, and I got to Dubai 10 years ago. There I was working with an ad agency, working as a project manager. Enjoy the days over here, guys. Once you move out of here, it's going to be completely different. If you're going to work for somebody, if you're working for yourself, it's a different story. If you're going to work for somebody, then your ass is on fire. So you have to definitely work, be prepared for that. So it's not that I used to hate my life or my job, but then you know that you're going to get into your office by 10 o'clock, but getting out is like whenever the job is getting over. It was tough. The only relaxation was on weekends. For me, the day started at 4 o'clock. Those are the only days I get up at 4 o'clock because I go out and shoot in the wild. When you say Dubai and shooting in the wild, there is more than 420 plus birds there is recorded, and I have photographed by myself around 200 plus. So they started on a weekend basis, but then in a span of 6 months, I started to go at least an hour before going for work. That was the transition. In 1 year's time, we kind of felt that, exploring UAE is not just enough. We need to explore more. We started with India, then we have gone to Africa, then Russia, Sri Lanka, and Indonesia, different places. So setting the boundary and expanding your boundary, it's all in you. There are people who say they don't have money to spend for equipments. No, it's complete bullshit. If you really decide to do something and if you are ready to work for it, you can always find a way. So don't try to come up with excuses. Just work hard for it and try to go for it, okay? Now, social media have a plus side as well as minus side. You have heard a lot of negative side. Even I was a victim even now, you can see that a lot of criticism going on everybody who is successful. The thing to remember is if you are successful, then only people try to scratch your back. So just ignore it. Now, when it comes to social media, how it influenced me, when you post something in social media, it's going to go to across the world, and people can reach you. That's how I got a chance to change my career. When they see my pictures, some of the people start to ask me, why don't I teach them photography on site? Why don't I take them along with me? So I start to take them along with me, train them in photography on site. The more time you spend on site, photographing any species, you understand what are the problems they are facing. And that is where the more time you spend inside, you will understand what is the damage we are doing in this nature. It's really bad. That is where that is where you have to understand we are kind of destroying the places. You see a lot of beautiful images over here. Okay. So how about you kind of know a lot about, extinction is the word which everybody is very familiar with. In a normal scenario, if 10 to 100 species were supposed to extinct from this Mother Earth, right now what we are facing is more than 27,000 species is vanishing from this Mother Earth in an year span just because of rainforest deforestation. It's our fault. We are growing in number and all the rest of the species are kind of coming down. So what we can do was the question. Any species you talk about, here it is, I'm talking about 6,300 amphibians and it's in under risk. When it comes to birds, 12% is under risk. And fish, 21%, 30%, mammals, 50%. Plants, we have 300,000 plus known plants, and out of that, 68 is under risk. When it comes to reptiles, 21% is under risk. Now, what can you do with these images? You go for a trip and come back with tons of images. The maximum you will be posting is maybe 10 or 15. After that, it is going to be in your hard disk. What you can do? That was the question between myself and Hermes. He's my cousin, and we started an organization. So the base of this was this question. Can you do something more than posting these images in social media to support conservation activities? The idea is very simple. If one of my image is making you come a little more closer to nature, why not? That was the simplest thing, because I don't have any science background to talk about conservation, but then certain small things can influence you. So conservation is nothing but protecting a habitat, a wild species or a plant and their habitat. So what we can do with that for image. When you use photography as a tool for conservation, it's about what is the use of photography. If you're going to use it, you see somebody hurting an animal and you get a photograph and you post it in social media, there will be a response. Nowadays, you don't have to wait to submit it to any magazine or anything. You can directly post it in social media. So it's about we all are visual animals. If I'm going to give you an 800-page document, and I'm going to ask you to go through it, how many of you will be doing it? But if I give you a book with a bunch of fabulous images, I'm sure you will at least scroll it through, right? Are you sleeping? So you can use it in many different situations, whether it is mountaintop removal or coal mining, clear cutting, anything. You have a visual evidence to talk to people. What we can do, this is not my image, it's by someone. But then when somebody take an image like this, they submit it to the related authority, they can actually help and come into the sport and save this tiger. When you talk about tigers, just 100 years ago, we got more than 200,000 plus tigers in our wild. Right now, what we have is just 3,600 plus. 97% is the reduction. And just because of our greed, you, me, and our greed. That is something which we need to understand, something which we need to clear. Otherwise, our next generation will not be able to see this beautiful animal. And if you think if it is not going to be there, we are going to be safe, no, it's a mistake. Once one species is missing from the chain, it will affect everything. It's the same thing. You have a very good habit of dumping your waste in nearby places, which will attract species like this. It's very good to see a spotted deer in front of your home. But when a tiger or a leopard try to chase this and you get in front of it, then it becomes human-animal conflict. You don't understand why the tiger or the leopard is getting into the forest. First of all, the forests are shrinking small and you are doing all nonsense like this. This is another evidence. Now, I don't have to talk about oil spill, which was, images like this helped the scientists to do something about how to control the damage. Now, I'm talking about Munnar, which is in the recent stories, in my lifetime, I haven't seen a flood like this. And I feel at least half of it is created by us. We don't take care of the rules and regulations. We just build tall buildings. You have money, you can purchase law, unfortunately. And this is Neelakurinji along with Nilgiri Thar. Place is extremely beautiful. The other side, now you see lot of buildings are there. You can see the number of cars parked there. Wherever we go, we need to relax, we need to be happy, we need to do everything as possible. The shopping, the waste, we don't take care of it. We need a system to do something good. I'm not denying it's a place you need to explore, you need to travel, but do it in a decent way. These are things you cannot blame just on the government. You need to do it by yourself. So everybody should take an initiation to know to do things like this. You have something to waste, dump the waste, but we don't. You can see multi-story buildings coming in every nook and corner. When I was taking this picture, I was chased many times. It almost blasted, abused, but then somehow I managed to take some images. So this was the base of Post Trails Explorers. It's an organization started between me and my brother and my best buddy. Actually, when we started it, our intention was using our images for a good cause, using it as a medium to communicate with people. And we wanted to take people more closer to nature. We experienced that feel of, coexistence, living in one with nature. That's something at least one person in this crowd, if it is going to be influenced, that is all we want. So same as I mentioned, we are talking about inspiring people using our images to get closer to nature and protect whatever is remaining. These are the things what I do. We take people to different parts. We feel photography is the way to connect people. If I say I'm going to talk about conservation, then people will be feeling that it is boring. But then when you are in honest place and when we are talking about animal and their behavior, through that we can talk about what are the difficulties they are facing and how we are damaging their environment. We can help them. So this is the medium what we are trying to do. With that, now we have images, we are posting it in social media. How many of you want your images to be published in National Geography? I can see a few hands. See, definitely, even that was the inspiration for me to start something like this, because everybody wants to get published in National Geography or BBC, but only very few get a chance to publish it like that. So our idea was to create a platform which is easily accessible for everybody. And we started with an online magazine called PT Explorers. It's online, it's completely free, it's published in every 2 months, and thank God we managed to publish 13 editions so far. It got many content, starting with international photographers, content and everything. Now, going forward, that becomes just an online. Online is only online. How about a community? That was the second question. Then we came up with an idea about building a community, photography as a medium. Once again, we start to do exhibitions our idea was to do 3 exhibitions in a year, but last year we ended up in doing 13 exhibitions. And that was this kind of push we got from the people. And we don't take money from anybody. We get it either between us or we get corporates to sponsor us. So this is in case if you have fabulous images, you want to get participated with us, please check our website, you can publish it. There is no criteria other than the quality of your images. Now that is what it is. What we have done in last 3 years, we have published 1 coffee table book. When you talk about books, if you give more content, nobody is going to read. What we did, we put 1 image and a little bit of content. Little bit of content in the sense, the most crucial content we put it over there, so people at least go through 1 line of it. So 1 book, 13 online magazine, 50 plus international talks and workshops, 14 wildlife photography exhibitions. Organically, myself and my brother got around 200,000 plus organic followers in social media, which is our biggest strength. And as an organization, we planted 40,000 plus saplings across the world, and 150 plus international photographers are ready to support us. It started between 2 people, now we have 200 plus volunteers working for us. So that is when you put your heart out, that's what happens. Now the next thing, somebody introduced me as a National Geography photographer. Though I'm not a National Geography photographer, I got a chance to work with National Geography. They're signing up for our next event, which is going to happen now. The event is called Foster's International Wildlife Festival, presented by National Geography in 3 years span. So that is where we are. That is our energy, and I feel that is when you have truth and love for what you do, this is what happens. Magic will happen. How do I play this? Yeah. So this is a little promo we have created. This is going to be aired in National Geography for 209 times. So we have a book launch. We have an exhibition with 2 sets. One is 25 images from Middle East and 25 images from across the world, focusing on conservation and environment. And we are bringing in 12 international speakers from across the world to talk about conservation through photography. So that is what it is. So that is my journey, and it is going to happen in Emirates Golf Club. These are the highlights. We are going to talk about people who are contributing much into conservation and photography. We want all your support. This is for at least correcting a little bit of damage we have done to Mother Nature. If we can, you have some idea to conservation in the side of conservation through photography, please email us or please be a part of our community. We need people, we need your help, we need your ideas. Ideas are what makes you, that is what is our strength. It's not 2 people's organization, it's our organization. That's what I wanted to tell you. Dream big, believe in your dreams, don't think about what people talk about you. Just go for it. I'm sure these are the dates, so anybody is coming to UAE, please get in touch with me, and it's a free event. You can just come in. This is my contact. All I have to tell you is believe in your dreams. People will be cribbing about it, don't worry about it, just do what you like with whole heart, with all your energy. Now, give me a clap.